Eye n'Ensoko TV oboroso bw'omugusi.
Wairire buya omurigirire bw'ensoko n'okwigena kwana buna andonsi asore nigogenderete buya Chinsa ni Ikomi chabona mugoroba naye igana amang'ana maya asenchira y'obweng'e kuruga iga Ensoko TV oboroso bw'omuguse erieta riane Linet Nyambane. Magega y'omuriro gwateka ase eskuru y'abaiseke ya Utumishi Academy obutkubuguukira rero muwaziri bw'ekisemi Julius Ogamba nigene kiribuna mubasokano bw'aborokigwa chimi isano na isato na batano na batatu niga aborokigwa 15 noyo mobaene kigwe gusira obugima bwabo ase 52 na kianda banyorete chinguma ase aborokigwa bande 52 noyomo banyarete kwa bakonyora obobwene na kwigurerwa kugenda ase chinka cyabo nabona abarokigwa 5 nigo bagendete konyora obobwene ase chinyagitari ao imiye county ya Nakuru ase bona tebiribuna nigo bagendete gukora ubusaki kubwatekana ningikirerete omuriro yo wateka.
And unfortunately we lost some of our learners in that incident. I'm going to give you those figures. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular school has a total girls population of 815 girls. At the time of the incident, the girls that were in school were 808. 7 of the girls were at home for various reasons. Out of the 808 girls, 79 were injured and taken to the hospital. They were treated and 71 of them were discharged. We have 7 currently admitted and 1 has been picked by the parent from the hospital. Out of that number of 808, we have 16 fatalities whose identities will be identified. The process of accounting will be taking place with our investigators. It's an unfortunate incident.
Even as we account for the 16 so far identified as having passed on, I want to ask the people of Kenya that together we stand with the families, the Utumishi Academy fraternity, and the rest of the family members who have lost their loved ones in prayer, in support. I ask everyone to be patient. We avoid speculation as to the cause of this tragedy. I also want to thank the multi-agency team of disaster response, starting from our county security team led by the county commissioner, the KDF team, the various formed up units, including us too, that came in very fast. As you very well know, most of the students who come to this school are children of our officers who serve in the National Police Service. And so as a ministry and as a family, we stand with everybody. Even as we release the parents whose children are still in school, which is the larger number, and who actually may not have been injured directly, we know that they will need a lot of support, psychosocial support. And the hotline number has been given, which is 1199, for basically for people to call for help. And we are working together with the Red Cross. As you know, they are part of the National Disaster Response team, so that even when parents, when their children have already gone home, we will make sure that even at home, they will receive counseling services and psychosocial support wherever they may be.
Gutigara ayo bwatikaine no gwatika kumuriro ikiama gya DCP kiamochire serikali ya Kenya Kwanza kubwatikana no mubasukana obumuriro uyokorekana eskuru ya baiseke ya utumishi gukwana kurwa asama gacho amanene yekiamekyo no murikyo monne bwekiamekyo John Medhu asatebire serikali nigebonete kubeka emeroberu emekiranu irikwenekia emebasukano ekerego korekana ase skuru aboroki wankonyora bare obokonyi bwangu na moroki gwatayo bwenerete gusiria obugema bwaye.
This morning we've woken up to the sad news of the fire tragedy at Utumishi Academy in Gilgil, Nakuru County. On behalf of the DCP party, on behalf of our supporters across the country and beyond, we send our heartfelt sympathies and condole with the families and parents who've lost their loved ones. We pray for speedy recovery of the injured and those in hospitals. So far, we've been informed that we have lost over 16 girls and about 79 have been injured. This is a great loss to our nation and families who have lost their loved ones. No parent should go through such pain and ordeal. No child deserves to lose their future full of great potential. One death is one too many. Any nation that loses its young people in what could have been prevented must question their moral and responsible conscience. As the nation mourns, we strongly question the disaster preparedness in our country, especially in our boarding schools. We have lost too many students for a long time, ranging from St. Kizito in 1990s, Changuri Boys, Hillside and Russia Academy, and countless others. It is unfortunate that while the National Disaster Response Management Bill is stuck with the leadership of the National Assembly, our children continue to face danger in schools and Kenyans are still not spared. The recklessness of parliamentary leadership remains painful to Kenya. The function of disaster response is treated as an afterthought by this administration, who carelessly moved to the incompetent Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, who cannot be reached while he is attending to his late-night social calendars. We are adequately aware that the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, was informed of the fire tragedy at 2 a.m. last night, but he could not marshal government machinery and drive a distance of 1.5 hours. The Cabinet Secretary is too big that he could not even drive. He chose to only fly and was waiting for the weather to clear up this morning. A Cabinet Secretary who is an epitome of failure, Mr. Kipchumba Murkomen, must take personal responsibility in the loss of lives of the children who have lost their lives.
Togotigana nayo omusao yomo osambirwe gwikago kwa maiga yoko mutachira insengi na moke na maiga yae kumuita imeye kenyorokia igorera ewodi ya Bubamba imeye bunge ya Machoge borabu county ya Kisii gukwana n'abanyakinyoro nigo bono baorokiryo bururu bwabo kubwatekana nemechando baitere ime gosasa makoko yo mukagero oyu.
Asegiseke kyabeiro mungina ngentiru bono mambia no mwana oisemoke omumuro mwabo nabo twachandeke twarerire omwana oyo no mwana ochandete kenyoreka amatuka amange abagambi baito no bara kiriboti kyaye kire paka obisi omugambi ebintu akoibakorwa ekenyoro no bire polisi magena lakini monte yo kufuatiria chusi gagenda so mungina okorokurosi akamubutora okoboko na rosi na mwagete betio okoboko korugagu ekeraire riboti magena step te yategetigu ekara namanye no mwaribu korugagu ekera charero mambi omongina uchikuye getugia chigutera no amonyora na kumubune bigoti na gwanza kumukorera mangana yobonyaka pake ekera guchikumubwato ko onyora ngosirira aina runa igwa sema mbi yarere kenyuru ke igorera gaiga asomongina kimunta ararire bono tuichanete
ekera twanyore sini ngakorero tibwankirwo kure igona minyokire ne pigipigi na beire ne liyanda linene kagolie kege katogesabera nikerabo geka nyasa konya banaba no ena bakinyoreke bare ne liyanda linene karana ikironi gona sinyiru gaki abantu baminto twarerire gaki abangina mwakura bono gaki omongino renge wo utatarari kende nyaki nyasa tigamutimokie ekaratigirwo mugaka maeganeri yanda linene gakitiga tusabere nkeye gaki kenyoreke tiga kiagachu na bagambi benkeye gaki nabonegerete igwa aketo ichanete tokonya bagambi minto kura bagakana bangine yale kokiyaga matie bonya sariri
na minyokire sana na chireko na kango konya na nyone bintu byo sibiera te birigisate akiri rende egento no mwako yakwa nurwa abagaka bagenyoreke mashiretie binte binge amangana akorekanira nko yunde sende jikase ni chiana njiri ko mangana te ko amgenyoreke abagaka batemire ko amangana abantu bari ko babwatesia bona kamanya gutika mangana abeire bona abeire ensase ya abeire umuriro
Togotigana nayo abasae bekiama gia Jubilee batumire engora yabo gucha ase amateria ya gosa ase amateria nyora ogwakwa asomo basokana bweskuru ya baiseke ya utumishi uyokorekana ensemo ya Gilgil county ya Nakuru gukwana kurwa ase amagacha manene yekiame kyo gia Jubilee ni gobono abasabu boigo batumire chinga kicho na komochia omurai bwense William Ruto ase batebire buna niga kubweterania oyo kabeiro omurai omukuru bwense Uhuru Kenyatta asatebire gusasa abasabu batebire buna nigo Ruto asinyire gwikirania amagenderero ayo abakenya bamuchorete abaikiraneri.
About agriculture, let us talk. Under William Ruto, Kenya recorded the poisonous sugar scandal, sugar laced with chemicals that endangered millions of lives. Your administration sat on it, protected cartels, and dared Kenyans to complain. That is not revival. That is attempted mass poisoning. You want to talk about edible oils? Kenyans have not forgotten. The poisoned cooking oil, recycling cartels you licensed and protected. Instead of protecting public health, your ministry looked away while cancer-causing oils were repackaged for poor families. That is your agricultural achievement, Mr. William Ruto. You dare to lecture anyone on healthcare? Today, under your watch, patients are dying because they cannot access dialysis. Mothers bleed to death due to lack of blood transfusions. Striking doctors were met with police brutality, not dialogue. The Social Health Authority is a shambolic, collapsing pyramid scheme that has left millions of Kenyans without cover. You inherited NHIF with problems, and you created a corpse disguised as universal health coverage.
Mr. President William Ruto, when Uhuru gave you power, the university students were in classes. You introduced a funding model called a new funding model for the university students. It has increased school fees, and now students are in the streets because they are unable to pay school fees for their university studies. Mr. William Ruto, when our party leader handed power to you, Rex Masai was alive. Brian Odhiambo was alive. So, and right now, they are dead.
Abantu bali ba UDA babo checheli umweshimiwa ito president ito nini Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta mbatebiga amatukaine tayenseye asengenjo inu mwahirwe gasi ne gasi mwetu mokorera abananchi egasi yabasinyire egento getegarete noko genda nyumba because egento mole mokonyo kubwatira chigoti niligota bangaki Uhuru nero kobarwani ono Uhuru nero beiro marengari
na wikiraga abo omurigereria bwensoko no to wikira omweri bwa Amayia asenchira yobwenge ayo amonaya ndamange nugo chikomerana na Clinton Ondigi Chinsa gosense yemo yabutkona wego Chinsa isato asara chikokwerera asenchira yobwikirano nako kaniri ogendere gutwara oburigereria obya bari banakia eriogi na wego chibiche chigango wikira chire asenchira yobwikirano Kelvin Mogoi na wego Felistas Kabende na nchengoro kwa Linet Nyambane Ensoko TV oboroso wo Mogusi.